Hello, hello, hello. It is April 10th, about 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and the last thing I really want to do is talk about Grant Cardone, but you should ask some questions. If you're a big Grant Cardone fan, I mean, I only have one hater on here, and I know who it is. GC's his initials. But, he's definitely seen my videos and definitely has made some responses to them in his. If you look back at my video, um, Grant Cardone is out of his real estate mind. Our Grant Cardone hits new low. You'll see what I've said, and then in his videos after that, you'll see responses to those things. And I have some questions you should be asking. For the real estate deal, he jumped in his video today and said he's already applied for loans. He stopped the payments the other day to his investors. And I responded to that because I'm a real estate expert, one of the top REO asset managers in the country, foreclosure specialist, certified general appraiser, broker, yada, 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 degree in real estate. I've been doing it all my life. I'm not applying for a loan. My vacancy rates are fine, thank God. Equity's good, strong LTV, loan to value. I mean, it's almost non-existent. And I explained in my other videos how you could get in trouble with a downturn in the economy. And I actually gave Grant some praise. He's done the right thing, a little late to the game. But, putting aside reserves now, because you're going to have higher than typical vacancy rates. You want to keep the properties maintained, and your management's got to be strong. So, from that part, yeah, good, good, good. From the other part of acquiring these property using a lead man as a real estate person that's a pilot, not a real estate expert, questionable. To be buying properties in the last 3 to 5 years, 1 to 5 years, in the overheated multifamily market, questionable. So there's a lot of things that you'd have to question. But now that he's in this predicament, if you're an investor, excuse me, all you got to do is hang with it. What do you got? It's sort of like owning a timeshare now, right? You sent your money in, you can't get it back out, so you're going for a ride. And I'm not too concerned about the ride you're going on right now. Banks, I work for them every single day. They really don't want to take any property back. And he has done some in good locations. So obviously when the market contracts, the good locations are always superior. So I wouldn't worry about that part. But there are some things I'd worry about. The number one question you should be asking right now is how many occupied units, say there's 1,000 units in a complex, how many of them have to be occupied and paying in order to cover the debt service, the insurance, the maintenance, and the management? Don't worry about your return monthly payments, but how many is the minimum number of units out of those thousands, say, that have to be occupied with rent being paid? And that's going to change from one complex to another because the more you put down, obviously, the more equity, the less the payment. The less the payment, the less occupancy performing needs to be done. So, you might have an apartment, one of the big insurance companies could own an apartment complex and, they don't have any mortgage on it. So basically, they just need 18% to 22% occupancy to pay for the, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and management. They don't need, because they pay down so much, they don't have a real principal and interest payment. But if you bought in the last 1 to 5 years and you put minimum down, you have a higher principal that's due, creates interest. So you're going to have a larger payment, which means you have to have a higher occupancy rate, a higher performing tenant base. So what's that number? It's going to be different per complex. Some of them it might be, 65%. Some of them it might be you have to have 75% performing tenants. So you really want to know what that number is. Another thing, he keeps going back to this recession training. Check out that domain. But anyways, I'll give him the domain if he gives 10 farm kids free access to that program. He can have the domain. But anyways, I own the domain, by the way. So if you want to look at the video of that, I have that up there also. So that was the question. The second thing is, I don't know, did you hear a little desperation in the video today? I heard it. And it's unfortunate because if there's anybody that's going to get out of this whole deal, it's Grant Cardone. He's definitely blessed and skilled, but he's sort of shell shocked, it appears, right now. And that's unfortunate. And another thing about this recession thing, it's 900 some odd change, 997 today. You got to ask yourself, you really have to ask yourself, who's got my money, right? Well, Grant Cardone's going to have your money if you send it to him. Are you going to have your money? Yeah, it's a great time, like I said in my prior videos. You do need to improve yourself, right? And you can do that through multiple means, and everybody learns different. Some people, this is going to be a great program for. Other people can send the money in and they still won't get anything out of it. It's all that depends on how you learn. And I'm an educator, obviously, and there are different means by which people absorb knowledge and actually take it and use it once they learn it. So there might be people that get out of this, but I wouldn't get scared. I wouldn't take the scare tactic that, it's everything in your life is going to fall apart if you don't join this program. There's books out there I've recommended in my other videos that you can read, and I noted in the other video that you need to make the list and get rid of things you don't need. Either give them to somebody in need or sell them. Lighten your load. I told you in the other video that it's like a backpack. We've gotten so busy and sort of like into fulfillment in the last few years that sometimes we add things on a subscription or buy things that need maintenance that we'd never use. So it's time to just get rid of that stuff. And look at yourself. How could you improve yourself? And now is actually a great a great time to take your life and make changes. If you weren't loving what you were doing before, this is the window of opportunity to go out and find something you love and try to see if you can make that your next stage of your life. So I actually admire Grant Cardone in many ways, and every video I make I get that one hater, and I know where it is. But I'm only here to ask the questions that you should be asking. You should be asking, why am I taking advice? And this goes, there's another guy, Meet Kevin too, who's been on here. He's a great YouTuber. I mean, I'm obviously not a YouTuber, but if I have a like button or subscribe button, please hit it. So I'm not a YouTuber. These guys are phenomenal in social media. But both of them admit that they went and applied for loans or grants immediately. If you're such a great, I just have to ask this. If you're such a great business person, why are you like the first in line for a grant or a loan? That's a question I just want to ask. Personally, why would I send somebody my money, like Meet Kevin has real estate classes, why would I send him my money when ask him how many houses he has in total and how many are vacant right now. There's a lot. Higher a vacancy rate that nobody that's professional would want. Why would I want to pay to learn from that? Why would I want to pay somebody that suspended payments to their investors for knowledge? Ask yourself these questions. because there's lots of professionals out there. I mean, I there's tons of small businesses that are hurting, but the real estate ones, I'm busy every day. I've been working till 2 a.m. every day. And I do work for foreclosures and REOs and brokerage and appraisal and education. So I'm diverse, but it's all pretty much real estate based. But I've been overwhelmed because it's times like this when there is a plunge in the market that the lenders and banks call the expert, and that happens to be me. So just ask yourself before you part with your money, before you listen to somebody, look at what's happening to them and say, should I be paying this person when that's happening to them? It's just a question. Ask yourself.